Hello everyone. Hope you can hear me properly. Am I audible to you? Hello guys, am I audible to you? Okay, great. Many answers. Yes. Thanks a lot. Let us wait for 1 more minute. Okay, since you guys have already joined in time, I will not waste your time. I respect your time. Let other people join and we can subsequently take their questions also. So I will begin my session. Uh, this session particularly why we have kept. The reason is that in our day-to-day life, we apply a lot of principles of HVAC. We try to design, we try to go to site, we try to do so many things, but always we have some few questions in our mind, like what to do with this, why I should do this. The client is asking a particular thing, should I go for it or not? So I thought I should share my experience over here, being in this field for so long, having experience all over the world, right from USA to Europe to say Middle East. I worked everywhere, so I thought that I should share my experience and what to do, what not to do, uh, and clarify all your doubts. That is the intention is. Plus, there are many emails and many messages we get from students. Sir, we wish to work UAE, we wish to work abroad. I can understand that you wish to work abroad. Why? Because of the salary and perks and all. What are the career tips you give to us? How we improve our CV? How to approach the people? How to approach the employer? What they see in our CV? So those kind of career tips also I want to give you all guys. That how to search the job abroad, not only abroad in the country also. When if you wish to search, what are the necessary things you should have in your CV? How to build the contacts? Those tips also I want to share with you. So this is the session all about. So I already have some questions which have been asked to me. I will take them one by one. Plus, if you have questions, you can just type also, or I think you can unmute your mic and you can ask directly also. So that provision also, I think my team has provided. So I'll just start taking the questions. So whatever you have, either you can type it or ask it, or whichever way you feel convenient. The first question I got it from Mr. Manu. Mr. Manu has asked, hello, Mr. Naveen? Hello, Mr. Naveen?
Hello. Sorry, I have kept in mute.
Hi, Naveen, you have any question?
No, sorry.
Okay, no issues.
Yeah.
Okay, so a question is asked that the client is asked, there is a two AHUs are kept side by side, and Manu is asking whether I should add the decibels of both to get 85 decibels. Each AHU is radiating 85 dBA each. So whether he should add both the AHU's noise decibel level and consider the noise level calculations. No, it is not the way. The ASHRAE has clearly defined a method. If you have two AHUs kept side by side, and they are radiating the same noise level, say 85 dB or whatever, the addition of only 3 dBA happens if they are 1 meter away. So there's a chart also in X-ray that it doesn't mean that 85 plus 85, 170 dBA you need to consider. You need to consider if both machines are working simultaneously, you need to add 3 dBA if the machines are located 1 meter apart. The other question is, in HVAC, what is the difference between DDC and PLC? Yeah, I'm very happy that this question is asked. See, the DDC is direct digital control and program. PLC is programmable logic control. Okay. The PLC is the one which is slightly expensive, but this is very flexible to use. The PLC as compared to DDC, because DDC is set modules of there are set modules, and there is a license there, so they charge for that, and they have monopoly if you go for DDC. But PLC, it's an open source code, so you can just program the way you want, and you can use it. And plus there is a redundancy also in PLC systems. So normally nowadays PLC is preferred for controls of HVAC systems, even in BMS or whatever. Another question is, what should I do? What should I do in case of monsoon heating? Okay, I think when you are asking this question of monsoon heating, you are considering the relative humidity problem, because in monsoon the relative humidity goes higher because of the moisture present in the air. So in that case, the humidity control becomes an issue. So you have the heaters there. From that heater, you can control the relative humidity. So wherever you find that monsoon is an issue, or if you're having the latent heat or relative humidity higher inside the room, so this problem particularly occurs in monsoon. So you can use the heaters to solve this problem. How to calculate the pump chilled water pump head? Okay, it's quite a descriptive method, and we have already covered one 2 hours seminar webinar last week I guess. So in future also we'll conduct. So in that we explained everything, how to conduct, how to calculate, how to reduce static pressure within the ducts. Okay, this is very interesting question. See, static pressure you can reduce in the duct by using the smooth elbow baffles, by which you are minimizing the resistance to the air. And plus, if you have to use the aerofoil dampers, if you use that, and if you use the proper methods, definitely the smooth elbows and vanes, deflectors, through which you can minimize the pressure, the static pressure within the duct. Okay, any questions, or I should take further questions on the list? Okay, I'll take the next question. Amit is asking that I want to work in Dubai. How should I approach the employers? Okay, see, if you wish to work in Dubai, you need to understand that if you wish to have proper work, I assume that you all are engineers, and particularly HVAC engineers. So if you wish to work in Dubai specifically, you need to have a degree in mechanical engineering, because any employer would prefer a mechanical engineer. It should be attested one by Ministry of Foreign Affairs and HRD and Embassy of UAE. And once you get your attestation done, then you already cleared one step. So before finding, if you wish to really work, then get your attestation done first so you save your time. Then if you want to increase your chances to work in Dubai, you need to invest some money in visit visa, go there, and best way is to search from there within the country, because the chances are very less unless you are highly brilliant that they will approach you. Your chances increase only when you go there and you find a job. It's very frustrating, but nowadays I heard that the visa rules are relaxed and you can stay there up to 90 days. Earlier the limit was 30 days visa, you need to extend, but now 90 days you can stay there. So 90 days is sufficient time to find a job, new job. Of course, see, unless if you see that no, this is too much expense, don't look at that money as an expense. Don't look at the visa expense and accommodation expense and the travel expense as an expense. Look at it as an investment. You are investing there to find a job. Then only it will be useful to you to change your mindset if you want to work in Dubai. Next question is okay, Qatar. Okay, this guy wants to work in Qatar. Okay. See, the Qatar, if you wish to work, then it's a bit stringent than UAE. First of all, pay in the Qatar the opportunities in Qatar as compared to UAE is comparatively less. Number two is for the engineers, you need to give exam. In UAE, there is no exam. You don't have to give any exam. As of now, future I don't know. But for to get the UPDMMU license, that is for the engineers, like electrical, civil, mechanical, those all engineers you need to give exam. Architecture, that you need to pass, then they give you license to work. So if you want to have a good salary, good job prospects, good company, definitely this license is mandatory for engineers. Okay. Uh, what option I should consider whether to work in India or abroad? See, it's up to all your choice. What you want to do in your life. Okay. If you have some family commitment, better to stay in India. But if you feel that you need money, you need to build your house, or you have some other priorities, you need more income, definitely you should consider going abroad. So there is no set rule that when I should take this decision. It's up to you. But definitely monetary wise, going abroad or going to Middle East will always beneficial. Next question is, what is the role of activated carbon filter in AHU? See, activated carbon filter mainly these activated carbon filters are not used normally for residential applications. You will not see. You will find only in industrial applications. The reason for this is this activated carbon filter, they handle the gases, even in case of oil and gas offshore applications, the H2S onshore applications where H2S, even if it is a lower quantity, then it takes care of the H2S and filters it. Similarly, hazardous gases, it filters it, and then the proper air passes the proper concentration within the room. So this is particularly used in refineries, activated carbon filters, or on the offshore platforms wherever the client specifies it. So you don't have to worry about it. Somebody's residential purpose is asking for activated carbon filter. You can say that it's not required.
ये एक्स्ट्रा मास्टर के पास
Hello,
नहीं ना नीचे बात
Mr. Naveen, I think your mic is on.
Yes. No.
So here one more question, that while deciding the drain pipe, what are the drain pipe size I should take? Drain pipe size I should take. Okay. See, the drain pipe size in ASHRAE itself applications, if you go, there's a proper table which says that for this many ton HU, how much pipe size you should take. So if you go ASHRAE, you will find all the tables, and they have gone really into deep to define. What is that? What is U trap in HU? Okay. See, this is also a very common question. How the U trap size is designed for the HU drain, and the question is that why U trap is needed. See, for this we have written a very big blog on how to calculate this U trap height, how to install it, and if you go to our website on the blog section, you will find it, that how this U trap for the HU and it should be designed properly. This question is, which compressor is good, centrifugal or screw? Okay, see, centrifugal compressor is used for very high load, say 400 ton and above, and because screw is not used there, because see, a problem with centrifugal is that it cannot handle the part load as much as screw can handle, but capacity what a single machine can handle is much higher in centrifugal. So if you have a load application, say district cooling or something, where basic load itself is very high, then it gets further distributed, then only you should think of centrifugal chiller. Okay, then next question is chemical, why the chemical dosing is done. Okay, see, chemical dosing is done to avoid the scaling within the chill water piping. So this is very important. Okay, important factor. It has to be done periodically. Say after every 3 months, 6 months, you should do the periodically you should do the chemical dosing. Okay, Mr. Ishad is asking, can you name some courses to boost our career as a working professional? If completed engineering already, yes. Our platform sbgbhv.com, which I'm typing here, is already for the working professionals who have passed engineering. So they can go there, go to the platform, and there's a wide variety of courses you can choose from. And if you have any questions, you can WhatsApp us your doubts so we can help you with your doubts. And whatever courses what we have designed is all designed by industry expert, considering the need of practical training in mind, something you can apply in your job from day one. You don't have to, it's not theoretical, it's practical. So this is how we have designed the courses. The next one is how to take the uh, how the fresher can be taken. See, fresher, there are various methods, but you need to follow the ASHRAE standard 62.1. See, that particular standard gives you the quantity of fresh air you need to apply. It's on per square feet basis or number of occupant basis. Applications given, rooms are given which you need to apply. So ASHRAE 62.1 gives you the complete guideline. Which standard I should use ASHRAE or ISHRAE? You should use the standard which client specifies you to use. To be honest, if you ask me which standard you should use, I would tell you use ASHRAE. The reason is that all ASHRAE tables are copied from ASHRAE. So you should use ASHRAE, and ASHRAE is definitely much senior and acceptable uh, in industry. So nobody can question you that from where the value came. And to be honest, when we went through the ASHRAE table, we found a lot of mistakes, to be honest. So we were also given them suggestions to ASHRAE to rectify the mistakes. So we prefer to use ASHRAE only. Yeah, except the weather data and all, you need to depend on ASHRAE because they have Indian weather data. What is the working of ATCS automatic tube cleaning system? Uh, Suraj, I've not heard this ATCS. Can you just okay? I might be knowing this with some different name, but if you tell me what full form of ATCS, I might be able to guide you. What is the role of air purging valve? Okay. So the air is the biggest villain in your chilled water system. More the air, lesser the efficiency you are going to have, lesser the cooling you are going to have in the system. And you know that air always travels, air is lighter than water, so it remains only on the top of it. So better, it is always installed at the topmost portion of your HVAC system, chilled water system. So air vents are fitted over there so that air escapes from the air vent. Is it helpful to be a part of ESHRE or ASHRE? See, I will tell you my experience here. I am a member of both ESHRE India as well as I have ASHRE member. So whenever I go to my office in Dubai or whenever I travel to Brazil or anywhere, I attend their chapter meetings for the ASHRE. So I think you should be member of both. The reason is that ESHRE conducts a lot of now they have started conducting. I don't know which chapter you belong to, but find out which chapter if you're Bangalore chapter, if you're from Bombay chapter, if you're from Delhi chapter, these are the chapters that are very active. Other chapters I'm not very sure, but if you are in those chapters, then only you should take ESHRE membership. Otherwise, I suggest you to go for ASHRE membership. And one more tip I want to give you for ASHRE membership that if you go for online, there's a section for India, and there you have a lesser membership cost compared to the original membership cost. This is my answer that if you are belonging to chapter for Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, then only take the ESHRE membership. That's worth. But you must have, whenever you go and change the job, definitely it helps to tell that you are a member. How many of you are trying for the ASHRE CHD exam, Certified HVAC Designer for ASHRE? Have you heard of it, ASHRE Certified HVAC Designer exam? I suggest that you must have that exam and get it passed. It definitely adds value to your CV and your job prospect also increases. India also, abroad also. If you go to ASHRE website, you will find the CHD. Type CHD in Google, CHD ASHRE, you will get all the details. I mean, whenever we recruit for our Dubai office, whenever we recruit in India, we always ask that are they CHD certified, ASHRE certified. In ASHRE also they are certifying for HVAC designer, they have data center course, they have clean room course, they have commissioning course. So definitely it adds value to your CV. People take seriously because when we as a recruiter uh, we get only 6 seconds to view the CV because every day our inbox gets full. You may have complaints with all the recruiters that they even don't revert back or they don't even give any feedback. But believe me, When I was working, I was also having the same complaint what you had. But when I came to the other side of the table as a recruiter, uh, we don't find time to even revert back because so many CVs come to us. Most of the people they do not even see the job description and they apply for an accounts and whatever it is, thinking that we may give them job. For this is the sad situation, but what to do? So I want to tell you that we get very less time to review the CVs. So the CV should be very impactful. So please focus on CV because 90% CV we find waste. And even if the candidate is good, we can that candidate. How can we see? We cannot see the face of a candidate. We only see the CV. So we miss a lot of good candidates just because CV is bad. So have your CV proper. And for CV also, I will give you a very smart tip afterwards. What about maintenance? Can you recommend something in ASHRAE? ASHRAE, there is a huge data, there is a huge thing given on maintenance. Even they have a chapter of air balance, even they have a standard of air balancing in ASHRAE. So even if you read the complete standard of air balancing on ASHRAE, you will learn and you can, if you can apply, you will have a lot of improvement for yourself. Even in ASHRAE also there is an exam for this maintenance commissioning expert. You can give that exam for ASHRAE and they give course material everything, and it's not as difficult as you feel because many people they pass it properly. Only thing in India the awareness is not there for these ASHRAE exams. But go to ASHRAE website, you will find the answer. All the procedures, how to apply. Fees are high, but I think for career you can invest that much. Because only thing is that you need to be different than others because your competition is very high. Every person is claiming that he's HVAC engineer, he has certificate. Then what differentiates you and the other guy? Actually, I can distinguish and differentiate you that you are different than others because you have passed their exam, right?
Salam, jawab. Tonton naik di baru lelah aja.
Hello.
Oh,
Okay. So next question is that I want to make career in oil and gas. Yeah, see, oil and gas HVAC definitely you get at least 3 times high pay as compared to normal HVAC. So definitely you need to, if you want to boost your career in HVAC and if you want to increase your salary chances, definitely oil and gas field is definitely helpful. But how to get the job is again a very difficult question. To get a job in oil and gas, your fundamentals has to be very strong, very strong. Okay, how many of you can answer me what is sol air temperature? Sol air, SOL, sol air temperature. Any idea what is sol air temperature? These kind of questions you will get in the interview for oil and gas. So the basic has to be extremely strong, then only you can get in. And to have the strong basics, you should have strong passion because it is very tough to be an HVAC engineer in oil and gas. Because if any person goes to the consultant without having any background or any strong basics of HVAC, the consultants from Europe, they will tear apart you, completely tear apart. You will be in tears when you will go into the meeting. That's what questions they will ask during the meeting. So one has to be completely all arounder. So to be all arounder, you have to be passionate. Then only you will get your salary 2 times, 3 times than a normal HVAC engineer. So if you are ready to take the pen, go ahead and make the career in oil and gas. That is waiting for you. Lot of requirement nowadays for oil and gas HVAC engineers, but there is shortage. On the other hand, the building sector, you have a lot of engineers. So you have a good opportunity, but only you need to be passionate. You are not getting people. We are also, even we are not getting people in oil and gas for our projects to execute because everyone is busy. They are getting jobs everywhere. So we are feeling shortage of HVAC engineers for oil and gas. So another question is safety factor. How much is the safety factor to be considered or to be added in the end of the heat load? Okay. See, safety factor, if you go for ASHRAE, it is clearly defined in ASHRAE Fundamentals, 1997 edition. And it says that we should add 15% for sensible load, 10% for the latent load. And for the duct heat gain, add 5%. This I am not saying, ASHRAE is saying. Sir, ATCS system is not common in current time period, but I saw that system in one of the mall in Delhi, so that's why I'm asking. Yeah, I would also like to answer this question, but I wish to know what is ATCS, full form of ATCS. I may be calling it by different name, so if you know the full form of ATCS, I would be able to help you. One question is that, okay, sir, I have a split AC, but the pipe length is 75 feet. Okay. So what to do? Whether it will work. What you need to do here, you need to make sure that you are not running it vertically. Make it horizontally. Run for 75. Take one size higher split unit. Put oil traps. It should work. But again, that is not the right way. But in HVAC, you need to find the practical solutions. Nothing is perfect. So we need to make at least near to perfect. It should work. So it will work. Automatic tube cleaning system. Are you referring to the electronic system by which the electromagnetic waves are passed and it works on ions within the water and it minimizes the scaling inside. That is how the electronic scaling system works nowadays. We have covered this in one of our courses. That is on troubleshooting on high side. There we have covered the scaling portion with electronic on new methods. Aluminum coil, condenser coil fins with copper coil fins, what are the things we have to consider? Cost. The cost will go high. Aluminum condenser pin coils, if you see the aluminum coil or the thickness of the aluminum is much lesser than the copper for the tubes also. And definitely that is not, if you see the customer complaints are very high. Erosion, the salty atmosphere, definitely it will not work near to Bombay. Major companies like Panasonic, they are doing this aluminum fins with aluminum coils to save the cost basically. So it is affecting the gas leakage is happening because the coil is also your tube is also very thin. The cost goes very high. It cannot sustain pressure sometimes. What is hybrid evaporative cooling system? Okay, this hybrid, this question is very good. Nowadays, there is a trend of using evaporative cooling system. Okay, as the HVAC engineers, you might be knowing what is evaporative cooling system. You know, the dry weather is there, you sprinkle the water and fans run and we feel cold air. That is sort of evaporative cooling. But nowadays, a new funda has come that hybrid evaporative cooling. That means using the vapor compression cycle along with the evaporative cooling system, uh, you can use the air conditioning system as a hybrid. This minimizes the cost, and but only this works on this doesn't work in all the cities. It works only in the cities where the weather conditions are relatively dry. So these are the latest trends nowadays of a hybrid evaporative cooling system. Sir, I am from oil and gas background. What is the damper closing time? See, damper closing, see, when you go for oil and gas, the things are more tilting towards the safety. And for the safety, you need to always, for the external surface, you have these fire and gas dampers, and those closing time will always 1 to 3 seconds for the Shishak actuators. So there's a monopoly of actuators there in Shishak because they are zone rated, certified. So definitely, the safety point of view, they are very popular. Whereas if you go for the other actuators, they are not even certified Belimo and all. They give you 16 seconds closing time. That is very dangerous because gas may enter into the system and person will die inside in oil and gas sector. Okay, the next question is role of silencers in HVAC. No, okay, one more interesting question I've got. This question is that how to select the vibration isolators in HVAC system. Well, again, there is a big chapter dedicated by Ashri on the vibration isolators, silencers. So, to give the answer short, the best way is for the smaller capacity, use rubber pad and close the job. Okay, but when your capacity is increasing, the HU capacity goes to about 60 ton, 70 ton, the bigger one. Then there are vibration isolators in the market which are available at the spring. The vibration isolators are there. You can use it for the HU foundation, and you can what you need is a point load data. If you have point load data, definitely HU vendor can give you point load data. You use that point load data, use the deflection, and you can select the vibration isolators from the catalog, or even there are softwares also. And as far as silencers are concerned, there are softwares to select the silencers. All you need to feed the input of noise data and you can calculate the silencers. Or your vendor can calculate the silencers and you can ask him for the data. Only thing is that while selecting the silencer, you should be very careful of the pressure drop within the ducting system. It should not exceed than what we have assumed or whether the fan is capable for that or not. So you need to have that in your system, that extra safety margin to cater the pressure drop in the silencers. What is the duct gauge we should select? So the duct gauge are given this MACRA. This MACRA standard is there from which you can select the duct gauge based on whatever static pressure you have within the duct. So in the ASHRAE also defines the duct gauge. So whichever standard is there stated by client, or if your client has not given a standard, you can say that you can tell, or somewhere you can document that this is what the standard we have used for construction of our ducts. So you are on safer side. Nobody can question you. See, always remember, you should always take a reference of standards. Standards are guidelines. They are given to help you, so that any consultant, any person says and asks the questions that what is the basis of the things you have taken, you can always refer to the standards. There are several standards in the market. You can choose whichever suits you, or whichever clients are stated or client has not stated anything. You can decide which we want to use. There's ASHRAE standards, MACNA standards there, DW standard is there, ISHRAE is there. So it's up to you. Or in local statutory standard is there. You can use that. It's up to you, but you need to make sure that you are safe. Your boss is safe. Your company is safe. No rework is happening. No idiot is coming tomorrow and saying that this is not the way we should have used this way. So you can always question him. No boss, this is what as per standard I'm using. You show us your standard. He will not have any answer. You are safe. Am I right? When you do a job, always keep yourself safe. Keep your job safe. This is the first thing. Next question is pumps. Which pump I should use? Mainly for chilled water applications, two pumps are very common. There is end suction and horizontal split. Okay. Why the concentric eccentric reducers are used at the pump inlet outlet? You might have heard the term called cavitation. So this is to avoid the cavitation. Any questions you can ask, you guys, because I'm taking questions one by one. Anyways, you can unmute your mic and ask if you wish to ask. Is there any course available with you for clean room? So repeat the last question. What was my last question? I forgot because I'm taking so many questions. Can anyone tell me what was my last question so I can repeat it again? Oh, okay, cavitation. See, when the water, the low velocity, enters in the pump impeller, okay, at the suction side, there is a pressure difference at two sides of the pump. One is this side, where the water is getting sucked, and water is entering inside. So when you are using that this eccentric reducer, then you are minimizing your chances of cavitation, because since the pressure difference is there, water will tend to bubble, water will tend to form the bubbles inside, and that will form a pitting on the surface of the pipe. So to avoid the pitting on the surface, because bubbles will burst, right? So that will damage the inside surface of the pipe. Due to pressure difference, the boiling point of the water appears faster with the pressure difference. So to have a smooth water flow without any pressure difference or turbulence, the eccentric reducer they are using. This phenomena you might have observed commonly, right? For the pumps. You might be wondering that why this is used, the eccentric reducers. That is the reason. You can always ask the questions to me that why it is done like that, why it is, because I know that your seniors might be telling you that this is the way to do. You might be asking them, yeah, fine, but why this way? Why not other way? And they may not be having answers for that. So for to get the answer, I'm here to give the answer that what is the reason behind it. Because if somebody is saying, because I'm of that opinion that whenever even my staff also is working, I always tell my staff, just because I'm telling you take the value, don't take it. Just because I'm telling you to use this or do this method, don't use it. Always ask me why. Go if I'm busy, go to the references, go to the tables, find out. Make sure that you are convinced. Then only apply it. Then only we will learn. That's the reason of we are engineers, right? To apply our knowledge. We have learned 4 years, very hard subjects we have been taught. We have to apply it in our life. Okay. Yeah, you might be thinking that it's very easy to say, but believe me, it's really easy. Just we need to form a habit of it, to challenge the things, to challenge ourselves, our beliefs. That is this the right way? Is the right value I'm taking? Why I'm taking? From where? Which reference table I'm using? And thumb rule is something the last you should use. When you don't have any data, then only use your thumb rule. If you have data, apply that. What is the future prospects of the HVAC MEP industry? This is the question from a fresher. Okay, I'll ask this question. I will just enlighten you on this. The recent study is being conducted, and the survey finds that the coming 7 years are going to be extremely uh, beneficial for the HVAC and the MEP sector. The reason is that after Corona, there will be a lot of construction boom is coming worldwide, not only in a particular country or something, everywhere. So demand of the MEP HVAC engineers are going to rise a lot. And as you know that even if the demand is high, you will find that people will also they will float some forces and they will again produce more engineers. But the quality of engineers, only those who are good, then they only get proper opportunities. So I suggest you focus on your skills, being better, make yourself extremely technically competent to handle the future boom. So you should be the first one in the eyes of the client to select, to get selected, and focus on your CV. Very important. Next 7 to 10 years are very crucial for your career. Be ready for that. That's the reason we have launched this training programs on our portal so that everyone gets trained properly and they should be ready for everything. What is the effect of clean? What is the effect of how to design the clean? Okay, see the clean room is a very deep topic. So that's why we have a dedicated course on that. So if somebody wants to have the look at the course, they can have the look at the course. Our team can send a brochure also for that. Okay, Mr. Irshad is asking, I asked one of our vendor to add isolation wall in VRV refrigeration system loop. They said it will decrease the line pressure. No, what he's saying, no, how it is possible, how it will decrease line pressure, come on. I don't agree with this. He is manipulating, trying to manipulate you. You can always ask him to prove. how it will decrease the line pressure. Ask him to show the calculations. Don't simply believe that isolation wall will decrease the line pressure. Come on. One more thing I want to tell you guys, that you all are engineers. You all are engineers. You having engineering background. I'm not sure, but I believe most of you are having engineering background. Don't let anyone, don't let anyone, don't let, I'm repeating 3 times, don't let anyone to manipulate you or fool you. Don't let anyone. Always ask, even if your boss, ask him why. Don't be ashamed. Ask him why. You have spent 4 years. Suraj, yes, I am not agree. Yeah, correct, you are right. Always question. No, don't let anyone, just simply don't buy anyone's argument. He should tell, you should prove it. Why not? Line pressure decrease. Your next question should be how much? How much line pressure decrease will be there? He will keep quiet because he doesn't have answer. Ask him, okay, if you say line pressure decrease, show me the table and tell me what is the line pressure decrease is happening. He will not have any answer. I don't know why he's giving such kind of answers to you. He just try to save the cost or save the work, maybe. Come on. It will increase the chances of leakage. Which world, in which era he is living? In which era he is living? Absolutely ridiculous answer he is giving. So your next question to him, that if he feels that adding the isolation wall will increase the chances of leakage, does it mean that in all entire HVAC systems fitted all over the world, they don't have any isolation wall? Are they fool who have installed the isolation wall in the system? Worldwide, whichever HVAC systems they have in the refrigeration side or copper coil, they don't have any isolation wall. So carrier is full? Impossible. Sir, in HVAC system, how to detect leakage? See, if your gas leakage is there, gas leak detectors are available which you can install in the plant room. So any leakage of gas is happening, you can easily detect it. The alarm it will give in the plant room. Of course, a closed plant room. Okay, I got it. Suraj is saying they also said they are from Daikin team. Suraj, yeah, Arshad is saying they are from Daikin team. Suraj said they are trying to manipulate because they think that they are senior persons. That's why I am correct. Yeah, I think what you should ask them, if they are from Daikin, you should ask them if you feel that it is increasing the chances. Definitely there is a manual there. VRV machine, they have a manual. They should say in the manual, is it written that you should not use isolation wall? Then I will agree. Tell them that way, that you will agree only if you can show in the manuals that it is said like that. Just because that Daikin doesn't make them right. They also have a manual, machine manual, system manual, there it should be written that do not put any isolation wall, something like that, or do's and don'ts. Then only you should believe. Sir, for the clearance space across the water cooled chiller, how much clearance space? Okay, fine. Okay. Yeah, Suraj is saying they can argue, but they can't prove it. Correct, you are right. They can argue, but they cannot prove it. What to do in case of air leakage? I think this question is not clear. Okay, first of all, we need to make into consideration first of all we need to make sure that you are conducting the air leak test. How many of you are aware that air leak test can be conducted, or anyone is conducting air leak test even for the duct? Need to conduct as per commissioning procedures. So this avoids if any air leak is happening from the duct, or if the duct is not sealed properly, or gasket is missing. Anything can happen, right? So you will not find a proper airing system. So duct leak test is must. It is a procedure. It's not very difficult. Anyone can do it if you follow the procedure properly. That saves your efforts. But I don't think in India anyone is taking it seriously. Okay. And next question, Umesh. Umesh is asking, for hospital, do you have any course? See, Umesh, for hospital HVAC, we don't have any course. But the major in hospital, the most critical part is operation theaters, and that is being treated as a clean room. So for that particular, we have a course for clean room applications, where how to design the operation theater and how to take care of the clean room, that we have taught. And for the hospitals, if you see specifically, then that particular module we have already covered in advanced HVAC design course, where we have dedicated a complete 2 modules for hospital design with all important things to be considered. And that also been designed by Dr. Ramaswamy, who is a renowned MEP consultant, hospital HVAC expert from Oman. He's a consultant to King of Oman. So he has designed that particular module on hospital HVAC. One more question is regarding the heat dissipation. The person asked that the heat dissipation values are not given, how much you should assume. Okay, this is very tricky one. It depends on again what kind of equipment you are using for the heat dissipation. So it may be 200 watt per square meter, something you can use. But again, it's tricky. It's very you must have data, or if you don't have data, use the Stephen Boltzmann formula. It's available on Google. If you use the Stephen Boltzmann formula, it's not very difficult to, if you have a kilowatt rating of the equipment, definitely you can find the Stephen Boltzmann formula of radiation. But don't assume as long as possible. For the toilet, how much percentage of extract airflow is acceptable? for toilet air, whatever whatever, see, first of all, I think when you are talking about toilet air, you have to consider this air changes first in your mind. Okay. So extract air is better to consider 10 to 15 air. 15 air changes is moderate. If it's a common, or if you are single, then use for 10 air changes. So that much air you should extract outside. And you should have an undercut below the door so that it takes the air from the room and it extracts out. Yeah, 10 I prefer for the individual toilet, but for the common toilet, 15 air changes should be okay. Again, these values are given by the ASHRAE standard 62.1. 2019 edition you can refer. For the common toilet and the individual toilet, all the areas they have given these air quantities to be recirculated or extracted. It's a proper standard, you can use that. I will write the standard name 62 ASHRAE 62.1. It's available on internet. So there you will find all the data pertaining to it, the ventilation system. Sir, the client is asking us to use heat recovery wheel. How much saving we will see? Heat recovery wheel is very common system. If you are using, if you use it properly, then good efficiency. If you are designing it properly, you should be able to save 30 to 40%. Max 40, 30% is okay on an average. You can save the electricity part. But just don't simply use it. First, you need to do the feasibility study. The cost of heat recovery wheels is also very high, and with the system. So you just make a comparative analysis that this is the cost, first cost, and this is what the operational cost. And if you compare it for next 10 years, you will understand which is beneficial or not, how much you are saving in terms of electricity. Next is should I consider the design career or side job? Okay, see, both are equally important. But if you ask me about the career point of view, I would suggest that you begin your career with site and you aim for design consultancy. It's a highest paid as compared to the side job. But when you reach to the consultancy, you have the practical knowledge, what happens at site, practical difficulty, what engineer faces. So when you apply it in the design, you know that which way to apply it so that the person who is executing will have less headache. Or when you have pipe size design, you will be knowing that in the market what pipes is available rather than simply taking the pipe size whichever mentioned in the table. So that experience helps when you actually work in the ground. Next question is HAP. See HAP. Somebody asked that which method is being used for the HAP. See, as you might be knowing, how many of you know that heat load calculations can be used by several methods? Can you type the methods by which the heat load calculation is done? Which method you are using for heat load calculation? Any idea? I wish to know that how many of you are aware that the method which you are using, there is a certain name to that method. So what is that method? Do you have any idea? No, Suraj, this is not correct answer. Manually using like Excel sheet is okay, but do you know name of that method? Irshad, do you know the name of the method? That's a cooling load temperature difference, CLTD. The Excel sheet what has been taught to you by your tutor or whoever. That method is CLTD method. Cooling load temperature difference oblique cooling load factor method. Similarly, there is other method also. That method is called as TETD. That is total equivalent temperature difference oblique TEM, that is time averaging method. Do you know there is one more method to calculate the heat load? Transfer function method. Again, there is one more method, to calculate the heat load. Heat balance method. This is not the end. There is one more method to calculate the heat load. It is a radiant time series method. So how many methods I told you? 5. All 5 methods. Has anyone taught you? No. They have taught you only one method. In that name also they have not told you what the name it is. Learn something new? There are 5 methods. Remember, this question also may come since somebody is smarter asks you in the interview. The Excel sheet method is called what I told you, CLTD, cooling load temperature difference, or cooling load factor method. Other method is TETD, total equivalent temperature difference method, or time averaging method. Third method is transfer function method. You might have heard about the HAP software, right? Carrier is using the HAP software. You might be using it in your day-to-day job. You're using it, right? The software, carrier software. Or if, yeah, you might be using the Excel sheet, but definitely there is a software also which commonly used. That particular software is using transfer function method to calculate the heat load. Fourth is heat balance method, and fifth is radiant time series method. Which one is common? Again, when you work in India, you know which method you use, CLTD. When you go abroad, you use the carrier HAP software which uses the transfer function method. When you go to US, they use radiant time series method and they use your heat balance method. Heat balance method and radiant time series method are considered to be very accurate as compared to, because in CLTD you know that we take the instantaneous load in the heat load. We assume that everything is happening together, everything is happening at the same time, all loads are appearing at the same time, so actually it doesn't happen. So we take the conservative value. So it's always on the higher side. On the top of that we take heat factors, safety factors. So CLTD method is not accurate, it's always on the higher side. But it's simpler to understand, simpler to use. That's why it's common in India. Because people doesn't want to take much pain to go into the deep. But reality is reality. We have to see that. Those guys, they go into the deep. Got the answer? Okay, for the duct designing, how many methods are there? Any answer for the duct design? How do you design the ducts? Any answer? Which method you use? Equal friction method, static regain, and what is the third one? Equal friction method, you are right, Suraj. Second is static regain, I told. And third one, velocity reduction. Yes, you are right. These are the method used in industry. Any idea where the static regain is used? For industrial applications. Correct. These are the things you should be prepared. So you need to explore yourself. Don't be shy away of reading the ASHRAE models. They are very big, thick. If you read first page, you will fall asleep. I understand. But in English, there is one phrase. There is one proverb. What it says? Devil lies in details. Devil lies in details. More detail you go, more you will explore yourself, more you will learn new things. Go into the details. Sleep, no problem. For 5 days you will sleep. You cannot even complete one page of ASHRAE. No problem. Don't lose. Focus again. Understand what ASHRAE is trying to say. They are not superficial like other books. They are go deep. And once you dive deep, nobody can touch you. That much I am guaranteeing. Nobody in the industry can touch you. Not even your boss, not even your client. They cannot even touch you if you read ASHRAE properly, if you mug it properly, if you understand their concept properly. It will take time. You will feel bored, you will feel sleepy. Just stay there. You will be rock solid. Everything they have covered. Everything. Whatever you want in HVAC, everything they have gone into it deep and have covered it. Next question is that HEPA filter. See, HEPA filters are high efficiency particulate air filters. They again are not used mainly for the industrial. They are used for the this pharma clean room application where you need to arrest the dust particles. You need to arrest the microbial content. There, this use of HEPA particle is very common. In residential applications, HEPA particles, if anybody is asking, consultant is asking you to use, just thrash him away. Then, what is this? Different types of air separators. Okay, see, yeah. If you go to our website, we invited Flamco one month back, and they gave very nice explanation about the air separators. So that's available free of cost. So you can go there on our website and check. You will learn many new things about the air separator and the new latest trends in air separators. How you can use it. It is a very useful session they have conducted. So we have uploaded it in our portal. You can check that. What is the role of ADP? Okay. See, without ADP, you cannot complete your heat load calculations. Okay, that is for sure. The operator's dew point is the surface temperature of a coil. That is must. And how many of you can draw the psychometric chart properly without relying on software? Have you tried your hands on psychometric chart, drawing it properly, calculating the EDP values from intersection? Have you tried it? Very interesting. You must try it. We say in our field that when you do at least 100 heat loads and psychometric chart pertaining to that particular application, you start becoming HVAC engineer. You don't become HVAC engineer unless you do 100 heat loads properly. Then only you start to become your journey towards becoming HVAC engineer. So if you have not done 100 heat loads with proper psychometric chart, I don't consider you guys as HVAC engineer. I'm sorry, but this is reality. Minimum 100 heat loads you must do with psychometric calculations by hand. Whether altitude has any effect on psychometric calculations? Yes, definitely the altitude plays very important role. See, when the psychometric chart, which you do you know how many psychometric charts are available in market? We are using only one. Any idea how many psychometric charts are available in the market? You'll be surprised. It's not only one which you are using. There are psychometric charts available in the market for. Okay, not yet, sir. Okay. Even for the high altitude, there's psychometric chart. If you're building or constructing something on the top of a hill, the altitude changes, right? Your height changes. So the water values cannot remain same what you're using at the sea level. Just read the psychometric chart properly which you are using. It says that these values applies to the sea level. When you go high, the psychometric chart is different. And Carrier, Mr. Carrier, who has done great favor on us, he has released psychometric charts for several applications and several uh, like high altitude, high pressure, high temperature. If you go to our YouTube channel, we have a separate video on how many psychometric chart and for which applications. We have already uploaded that video on our YouTube channel. You must go and visit our YouTube channel for this information. There are lot of videos we have uploaded which are available for free for guys to learn. I should give the link of that channel. You must go and see that. Wait, I'll just share the link of the channel. Subscribe the channel and enjoy the knowledge what we have shared. Channel. Wait. Yeah, this is the one. Just sharing it. Okay, Mr. Irshad has asked one question. Okay, let me just post this channel. What is that? Okay, can you name some of the topic as a starter to read in ASHRAE standard? You start with the pipe design. Better start with the pipe design because if you start with a heat load, it is too much of equations for you. Too much of equations. Better start with the pipe design. That is quite simpler topic to start with. Yeah, I think I've posted my channel link. You can guys can save it and you can view all the topics which we have covered. Electrical system in HVAC. Can you throw some light? Yeah, okay, see, electrical is very important part of HVAC, as you know, and we always repeat every time to all our community that don't rely only on HVAC knowledge. Make yourself perfect in HVAC and focus yourself on electrical, because the future, you know, is future is of the personnel with skills, who has the skills, and the employer is going to consider only those who can handle two roles at a time, electrical as well as HVAC. So no, don't neglect HVAC. Focus on, no, don't neglect electrical. I'm sorry. Focus on electrical also equally. And we have launched a course also for electricals pertaining to HVAC. Only for those HVAC engineers, they can focus on only that portion of electrical, what is required in the job, HVAC job. Khalas, don't trade too much. उतना भी किया, अपना job बचाओ. So many people have been benefited. We have testimonials, sir. We have done this course. So boss is happy because he can get electrical work done, and my job is safe. That much people are thanking us. So thanks to Dhawan sir for making such wonderful course, where that course covers all how you can read the control panel diagrams, and how you can uh, see how you can decide the cables, stuff like that. All he has explained in that course. What is the role of what happens if there's a ice frosting? See, ice frosting is a common phenomenon if you have a less gas in the system. So this all comes under the troubleshooting, and troubleshooting is very important aspect also, you must know, because we leave everything to technicians, and technicians say whatever it is and we have to believe them because we don't have knowledge. So I suggest that don't take this troubleshooting and high side also very lightly. Take that also seriously and focus on that also. Just don't believe that if technician is saying साहब गैस कमती है, साहब इसका वॉल टूट गया है, साहब इसका कॉइल खराब है. Just don't simply believe. Apply your knowledge. Ask him why. Learn from them. No issues. Learn from them. Make your hands sturdy. It's the best way to learn. Sir, I have experience mainly in maintenance field, and I want to increase the knowledge in design also. Can you suggest something to me? Irshad, you're logged into our course, right? By using the login ID password and all. Explore our website completely. We have a lot of courses available for the design. You can take any one of the course. For the design also, we have course of certified MEP professional, and that suits you perfectly. You can download the brochure, and if you don't get a brochure, you contact me and I will ask my team to send you the brochure. That will make you a perfect HVAC designer. We have money back guarantee, so you don't have to worry. You don't like, just tell us. We'll refund your money. Yes, Suraj, you are right. Suraj, you are right. Because of some leakage. You're right. I think we are going towards the end. So if you have further questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll just finish the last two questions and I will wrap up the session. I hope you are finding it very useful. How to contact? Okay, I'll just give the number of my team. You can speak to them, and if you can clarify if you have any doubts, you can ask them on WhatsApp. They will send you all the information, whatever you need. I'll just type the number. This is the WhatsApp number of our team. You can reach out to them, ask them any query, brochure, everything they will send you by WhatsApp. All information, whatever you need. This is India number. So dial +91 877 944 0200. Okay, take the second last question. Okay, consultant has asked. What is that? 1 minute. Okay. Consultant had asked what is the average plant HVAC plant's life. See, 15 to 20 years is the average HVAC plant life. In India, it is going to 30 years or so, you know very well, but that is not an ideal way. After 15 to 20 years, one should consider the replacement of HVAC plant because it will try to get rusted, the motors will not work properly, it will draw more current, it will not be energy efficient. And after 20 years, technology changes completely. So you can avail the new technology and you can reduce the power consumption. So 15 to 20 years is the average life of HVAC plant. How to select a company while selecting HVAC system? See, here this is a common question which I face when it's a practical question, not a technical question. See, when you go to market, just don't go for a cheaper option. Okay, just don't go because the chiller is cheap, or just don't go because the pump you are getting cheap. If you are getting the pump cheap, you make sure that service of that particular company is good. The technician comes on time. They have a good reputation of in the market, that their failure rate is less. So your other headaches of the client you are safe. Otherwise, if you buy a cheap thing and if you fitting it and your client is calling you every now and then, ये खराब हो गया, it doesn't cover in the warranty period, you lose your reputation in the market. So you have to always strike a balance between the cost and quality and the servicing. So I think that's the end of it. If you have any more questions, thanks a lot for your suggestions and starting a wonderful learning session. Yeah, this is a continuous session. I will be taking more and more sessions like this to clarify all the doubts of everyone. So still anyone has a doubt, they can type to our team. I'm just typing the email ID. They can ask meanwhile on this email ID. support@svgvlv.com. My team will help you. And otherwise also you can still be present in my next session and again ask me with a fresh doubts if you come across, and I would be ready to help you. Integrated part load, there's a formula, proper formula is there for integrated part load. I do not remember it now, but there's if you read our YouTube, I have given those formula in that one of the videos regarding the integrated part load value, how to calculate. Anything else? Okay, thank you guys. You can ask us question. We are ready to help you. And make sure that, as I told you, always follow my tip. Being an engineer, always be curious, always be inquisitive. Don't take anything for granted just because somebody is saying. Apply it, and I'm just guaranteeing you that your boss will be very happy with your knowledge, the kind of knowledge you have. It works while selecting the chiller. You can select the chillers properly by integrated part load value. So this is it. Let us be in touch in future also. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Goodbye.